Greetings, everybody. Welcome to one of the May podcasts here for IASIU. I'm Geoff Keah, one of the directors here with IASIU. And it is May, so it's disaster season, which means a lot of opportunity for fraud, specifically contractor fraud. Every spring, NICB hosts an industry-wide conversation to educate the public on how to avoid falling victim to contractor fraud, called Contractor Fraud Awareness Week. IASIU is proud to support, participate in Contractor Fraud Awareness Week, and take a stand against contractor fraud. We have Chris Stroisch, Vice President of Public Affairs and Communications at the NICB, here to talk more about the issue of contractor fraud, how your organization can support Contractor Fraud Awareness Week, and virtual contractor fraud training opportunities that are available for NICB member SIUs and claims professionals. Welcome, Chris. Why focus on the issue of contractor fraud?
Well, first, Jeff, thank you for having me today and allowing NICB to talk about this important topic. So I think that if you've been in the insurance industry long enough, you see the number of large-scale catastrophes that are occurring in the United States. You continue to see them increase. And so in 2024, nationwide, we had 27 different weather, climate disasters that were all each over $1 billion in damages. You had $184 billion in total damages occur in 2024, and 80% of that was insured losses. But after catastrophes, homeowners are focused on rebuilding their lives, putting their lives back together, and they're trying to figure out how to do that. And I think that that's where we see where the fraudsters, they start pouring into these hard hit communities to take advantage of people in their most vulnerable state. So fraudsters, and we say this all the time at NICB, fraudsters follow the money. And so while most contractors are reputable, honest individuals, organizations, there are some bad actors out there. And so homeowners need to know the signs so they don't fall victim a second time. So that's why at NICB we're focused so much on raising awareness around contractor fraud.
For sure. So how does the NICB support members and policyholders avoid fraud during, or more importantly, following a catastrophe?
Oh, great question. So last year in 2024, for example, NICB responded to 12 large catastrophe events. And so far this year in 2025, we've responded to three. Our NICB agents, for example, are deployed to some of those hard hit communities once the search and rescue efforts have been wrapped up. And so what does that look like? We are working with and coordinating with federal, state, and local law enforcement agencies and state and other agencies to identify burned vehicles following the wildfires in California that occurred earlier this year, or working with law enforcement and other agencies following the fires in Maui last year. Following hurricanes, we are working with law enforcement to identify potential fraudulent contractors. After Hurricane Helene, last year, we were working in Florida and Georgia and North Carolina with law enforcement to identify possible fraudulent actors. Back at our headquarters in Oak Brook, Illinois, our analysts are then working with all of our different data assets and identifying trends. They're looking through the data, the intelligence to identify trends and just to pass that information then on to law enforcement. But outside of the agent involvement and our analyst involvement, our public affairs team, which is near and dear to my heart with my role at NICB, we are working to educate the public, educating them on the trends that we're seeing, what they need to be aware of so they don't fall victim. We are running PSA campaigns nationwide and in hard hit communities. We are running targeted social media campaigns. We are leveraging the national media and the local media, trying to use every different platform that's available to us to reach homeowners that might be impacted. And then from a government affairs standpoint, our government affairs team is then working after the fact once the storm is out of that immediate disaster response mode. Our government affairs team is then working with state and federal lawmakers trying to identify gaps in legislation to make sure that we're protecting homeowners in the future.
Right. How can individuals and other organizations participate in Contractor Fraud Awareness Week?
We have tried to make this incredibly easy for everyone to be involved. So last year, we had 88 organizations, be it insurance companies, government agencies, trade associations in the industry. We had 88 organizations participate in Contractor Fraud Awareness Week. And we also had 21 states and Puerto Rico recognize CFAW as through official proclamations. So we're trying to make this as easy as possible. So the easiest thing people can do and organizations can do is go to our website, nicb.org, and there's a yellow banner at the top of the page that's just specifically will link you to the Contractor Fraud Awareness Week page. We have made everything easy for people to download. So you will find infographics, you will find PSAs that are downloadable, you will find imagery that's downloadable. You'll also find templated press releases, and templated content that's available for member companies, for state agencies, federal agencies to be involved. We have available a proud supporter badge, and we're making it's downloadable, and we're making it easy for people to show their support for CFAW. So we're asking all organizations that are involved with us to share that badge on Wednesday, May 21st. Share it on your social media channels to really show your support for this important week for the insurance industry.
Perfect. So you can find everything you need on the NICB Contractor Fraud Awareness page, including downloadable consumer resources and the Proud Supporter badge that Chris was talking about, which I will link in the bottom here that you should see down here underneath the video.
And then one thing I forgot to mention too is training. So you can also find virtual training opportunities, upcoming Fraud Smart courses, and NICTA on-demand courses on that page as well for SIUs and other members of the insurance industry.
Okay. And did we already talk about those dates?
So
speaking of training, there's virtual training that is available. What training can members take advantage of this year?
Absolutely. So we have been working with our learning and development team to not only have virtual training opportunities, but like I said, Fraud Smart activities and whatnot. And so specifically for Contractor Fraud Awareness Week, which is May 19th through the 21st, the Monday through Thursday, every day from 12 to 1 Central Standard Time, we will have a different training opportunity available. And so I can quickly go through those really quickly. But on Monday, May 19th, we are having a public adjusters and fraud virtual event with agents and our certified insurance fraud investigator. On Tuesday, the 20th, we're going to have a session on elder fraud and exploitation with a member of the NICB team, as well as a member of the Baltimore County Police Department. On Wednesday, we're going to have an SIU contractor fraud panel discussion with members of NICB, as well as a few of the member companies that are involved. And then on Thursday, we are having an open office Q&A. And what this means is last year we had a lot of feedback. We received a lot of feedback at NICB about a lot of SIUs specifically had questions that when they attended virtual training opportunities or they attended different opportunities that we made available, there wasn't enough time to ask specific questions to NICB agents. They had a specific situation that they didn't know how to handle, and they wanted NICB's input on that. And so on Thursday, May 22nd, we are having what we're calling open office hours to allow SIUs to call into this or to log into this and ask any questions that they have that they need addressed with an NICB agent. So we're highly promoting, if you have a question, please, on May 22nd, which is Thursday, please use that time to ask questions that you have of an NICB agent.
Be careful what you ask for, right?
Very, very true.
Which is one of the last questions that everyone wants to know is there any cost to attend these virtual training sessions?
No, these are absolutely free. And if you want to find out more information about any of the training opportunities that I just talked about, please visit nicb.org. And like I said, we make it incredibly easy with the banner across the top that just says Contractor Fraud Awareness Week, and click on that banner and then you'll find everything that you need on that site.
Perfect. Yeah. So Another contractor fraud virtual training opportunity is in the works, and hopefully by the time you see this, it will be posted up on the IASIU page for you to sign up and attend. IASIU and NICB are partnering to bring you a webinar led by an NICB agent and an expert in disaster fraud investigations next month on June 18th from 1 to 2 p.m. Central Time. Look out for more details and a registration link to come. Chris, any final thoughts you want to wrap up with?
The last thing I'd say is, thank you, Jeff, for this opportunity. We have really enjoyed our partnership and I feel like our growing partnership with IASIU, and so I just appreciate the time to speak with you today.
Likewise. Thanks, and everyone be looking out for those links here at the bottom. Thanks again, Chris.
Thank you.